recording. There we go. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this special Guild Saga Vanished Worlds demo gameplay stream. So I am going to be recording this with a live chat, but we're also going to use this as a gameplay video going forward, so hoping a lot of new players will see this, and I'm going to be kind of playing from that angle. So I'm going to be explaining a lot of things that people in the live chat might already be familiar with. And I'm going to have Caruso and Matt from the team, and they're going to be kind of like pretending like they're new to the game and asking me some questions throughout. If you guys in the live chat, maybe you could let me know if the audio from the game is coming through, the stream is all looking good, and that you can hear, maybe we get a mic check from Matt and Caruso.
Testing. Check 1, 2, 3.
Let us know, guys, if you can hear them. I'm going to assume that you can.
Testing,
unless
testing.
told otherwise.
1, 2, 3.
So yeah, guys, if you're watching this for the first time, you're new to Guild Saga. Guild Saga Vanished Worlds, it's a classic 2D pixel art fantasy RPG. We like to think of it as kind of like a mix between your classic tactics JRPG games, like a Final Fantasy Tactics, Tactics Ogre, those kinds of games, combined with modern CRPGs, like a Divinity Original Sin, Baldur's Gate 3, those kinds of games. Tonight I am going to be just running through our current demo build. I think this will probably be 1 to 2 hours of content depending on the player and their playstyle. I'm going to do a little bit of a deep dive in this video. I'm going to be trying to explain most of the mechanics. I won't be reading all the dialogue that's available in the demo. I don't want to get too boring. But it is going to be a fairly comprehensive overview of the game. And for those of you that are watching in the live stream and you're familiar with the game and you've played the closed builds already, I will be highlighting some of the new things that we've added. This is, like I said, the most recent development build, so you're going to see some changes that aren't available in a closed build that you may be playing. And for that reason, there might also be some bugs. There probably will be some bugs, so just be ready for that, and I'll take note of them. Or Matt, you can take note of any bugs that we run into, and we can add that to the list. Yeah, like I said, I got Matt and Caruso with me. They'll be acting like new players, asking me questions. So if you're wondering, like, why does a member of the team not know the basics about the game, that's why. They're going to be kind of playing dumb a bit. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's jump right into it. I'm going to start a new game. I'll get into it. So here we are at the character creation screen. And people in the audience and Matt and Caruso, definitely we can kind of play this as a team. So we can like choose our character, pick our character together. So feel free to jump in. I'm just gonna do Vault for the name, or we could do a random name. Let's do Arman. Armin. Attack on Titan style.
I dig it.
Should we build like an Armin-looking character?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Okay. Alright, we got a nice little theme going here. So, the race it's purely aesthetic. I shouldn't say it's purely aesthetic, because with certain races you'll have some unique dialogue options. But generally speaking, this is just an aesthetic choice here. Armin is a very pale-skinned character, so we'll go with that. We're gonna want to go.
Are you gonna go short hair or long hair?
We're gonna go short. We're gonna want to make sure that we're male. And for those of you watching, we do have this new randomize option, so you can randomize appearance to quickly flip through. But yeah, let me get back to making our Armin character. So we got a male character. For the hair, I think this is a good one for him. It's not perfect, but
Yeah, it's good.
it's pretty good.
He has black hair, right? Or brown?
Armin has blonde hair.
Armin. Funny.
I'm right. I'm thinking of the right character, right? We're talking about Aaron's friend.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I was
Yeah.
thinking Aaron.
Yeah, the blonde hair. I believe he has blue eyes, right?
Yep.
I could be wrong, but I think so. And then we're gonna go... What kind of class do we want to build, guys? What are we thinking? We can go... So for those of us watching, there's no... or for those of you watching, there's no class system in the game. There are different schools that you can allocate points into, and that will allow you to learn skills in those schools. So theoretically, you could go like 1 point into 3 schools here and learn skills from 3 schools. And as you level up, you could put points into every different school and have access to a lot of different skills. So there's no defined class. You have really a lot of freedom with your skills, but for the start of the game, we gotta kind of pick a build idea, and I'm seeing from the class, Rogue, and I see a question about the classes. The classes, like I just said, you're not picking a class and stuck with it. You're not picking a class at all. You're just allocating points to different attributes, and that opens up build possibilities. Very much like a Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2. And I see a vote in the chat for Rogue.
Yep.
Yeah, it's looking like Rogue is winning out. So we're gonna build a Rogue Armin. Do we want to go pure Rogue, or do we want to go into something else as well as like a secondary school?
Let's see. I'm kind of into Warlock, but
Yeah,
that's just me.
Rogue and Warlock combo is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with that in mind, we're gonna go back to our weapon selection, and we're gonna go with daggers. So you'll be able to pick a school, you'll be able to pick a starting weapon as well. And you see this arrow here, it's pointing towards the equipment button. This will pull up the inventory for your character's current equipment, and you can kind of see what your stuff is doing there. And you can see with dual steel daggers, we get the skill Lacerate, which is just a basic attack skill for daggers. And we have an armor as well, giving us 20 armor. And okay, so we're good on our... Oh no, we're going to want to select our armor as well. Let's put on a rogue cloak. Character looking pretty cool.
Nice.
That's the thing about the game, guys. It's very, very customizable. There's thousands of... I want to say just over 1,000 items already in this build of the game. Many of them... The armor, the weapons, the boots, the hat, the back item, all of these are visible on the character. So building up a really cool, unique character, both build-wise and visually, is possible in this game, even though it's a pixel art game. And of course, every single equipment item requires tons and tons of different animations, because it's all hand-drawn. It's not rigged. And we have a backstory we can pick here. So because we're rogue, let's go with pickpocket. I like that. We get +1 rogue and we get +1 thievery. And we have a little explanations for the backstories. I'll talk about this one. So it says, I'd always been extremely grateful to the Asardians, from the merchants who ply their trade till their satchels overflowed with coin, to the nobles who strut the streets adorned in gold and jewel, searching for the beneficiaries to their philanthropy. One might even say I owe them my entire livelihood. It is then most unfortunate, of course, that emerging chaos in the region has caused many to go into recluse. The keep I worked so tirelessly for has become incredibly paltry. These days, making an honest living has become a rather arduous struggle. Perhaps it is time to set my sights on new lands with fresher pockets. that's the thing, guys. What's big about the story as you'll see it unfold in Guild Saga Vanished Worlds. It's all about kind of a mission that you're taking on for the Heroes Guild, going to a new continent where part of it is settled and civilized, but there's also a fine line, or should I say more of an ambiguous line between the civilized area and sort of the wilderness and the uncharted territory. And that sort of theme of exploration is going to play a big part, and a lot of these backstories kind of reference that. But so we have our pickpocket that's giving us a bit of bonus to rogue stuff. We can choose an inclination. This is just going to unlock some different dialogue choices. I feel like rogue. I like greed. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a greedy guy.
I think
I think
that's
Armin is too.
Yeah, I think so. I think we can read that into his character.
Yeah.
I seek fortune by any means. I want a grand estate and an elven servant. I want mithril armor adorned with precious stones. I want a luxury carriage pulled by the finest steeds. I want... And it goes on. So I think you guys can kind of see we're really putting a lot of work into the writing in the game. And, you know, every single item has, you know, a unique description. There's a lot of good attention to detail in this game, and I hope that kind of shows through even in this gameplay video of the demo. But yeah, let's start building our stats out here. So, for a rogue character, we're going to want dexterity. Dexterity is going to be increasing your damage with physical and ranged skills, specifically daggers and bows. So because we are going with daggers, we're going to want to go dexterity. We could go a bit into constitution, which is going to increase our max health, but I think we go for a pure sort of damage dealing rogue build here.
Agreed.
And then here we have our turn-based points. We have initiative, which is determines your order at the start of battle. So this is a turn-based combat game, and at the start of each battle, the order of the combatants in terms of when they'll take their turns is decided by initiative, highest to lowest. So that is useful for a rogue, I think, going early, but I think Vigor is probably the best right now. This is going to increase your max AP and AP per turn. Once we get into battle, I'll kind of explain what that means. And speed would be your movement. But we are, just a heads up, we are looking at a rehaul of these stats in particular. We may remove speed and vigor completely, make them more set and increasing based on your overall level than something that you level up. And then instead replacing them with maybe a memory, which changes how many active skills you can have. But also keeping initiative. So there's a good chance we're going to overhaul that for early access, but in the demo, this is how it's going to be. Weapons, obviously we're going to go dual wielding. This is going to increase our accuracy, evasion, and damage while we're using twin weapons. And we have 4 types of weapons in the game, as you can see. There's a swordsmanship. This is like all your kind of one-handed melee weapons. We've got staves and wands. We have dual wield daggers, and then we have bows. And now we've got our 2 points in rogue, 1 point in warlock. These are the 10 classes we have in the game. Pyromancer, Hydromancer, Geomancer, Aeromancer are different elemental mage classes. We've got warrior as your fighter class. Hunter is your archer, and rogue obviously kind of your dual dagger. And then we have cleric, and cleric's like a healer class. Engineer is kind of a little bit of a unique mage class where you're doing mechanical themed attacks, and you're also doing things that kind of engineer the battle in different ways, like putting down portals or taking AP and turning it into MP, you know, like kind of like manipulating the mechanics of the game in addition to the sort of, you know, regular magic attacks, if that makes any sense. So I think engineer is a cool class that has a lot of potential, and then
Very
warlock
cool.
is your dark magic.
I feel like
And
you
now-
don't see engineer in in turn-based games too often, do you?
No, I know. I think it's pretty unique. I think in the tactics JRPGs, there's typically what is the there's like a mathematician class I think in Final Fantasy Tactics. But no, you don't typically. It's pretty. I don't think the Baldur's Gate 3 that has a bard class. I don't think it has like an engineer type class. I think it is fairly unique. And yeah, like I said, I think it's probably going to provide the most sort of unique gameplay of all the classes. Definitely be an interesting one to use as like a secondary. But now we're going to choose our skills. So what are we thinking, guys? We've got Execute. This is you do damage to a target enemy, and if it has less than 20% health, it's an auto kill. We've got Envenom. This is going to poison our blades and make us do added poison damage each weapon attack. We've got Flank, which is a teleport. And we've got Impale, which is kind of just a powerful attack that does piercing damage, so it goes through armor. And we've got Hasten to get us more AP and MP per turn. So that's from our rogue skills, and then we've got a couple summons from the Warlock. We've got a ranged Warlock skill here that does magic damage. We've got something that buffs summons, and we've got a damage over time status. That's one thing to note about Warlock is it's very each of the mage classes, Warlock, Cleric, and the 4 elements, obviously they're differentiated by the elemental damage that they do, but they also have different kind of like play styles, and with Warlock it's very summon focused.
Cool. So let's choose 2 rogue skills and 1 warlock, just to switch it up.
Okay. Let's go with a Hasten, I think. I think that's a generally pretty powerful skill. Flank is really good for like moving around, but I think in the early game that might be good. Let's
Kind
go
of
with...
like the instant kill.
Yeah, that could be
20.
cool, but it's a 3 AP, so that's something else I should mention, guys. In the top right, you see those dots? That's telling you how much AP the skill costs.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'm thinking an Impale could be cool, an extra damage skill there. And then for Warlock, Matt, what are your thoughts on this selection?
I like Iron Maiden, honestly.
Yeah, I'm
Iron
into
Maiden
that one.
is good.
I'm not sure about the Rogue though.
I think if we go Iron Maiden, we can drop Impale, because then we'll have 2 kind of ranged damage dealing skills. I'm thinking we keep Impale. Iron Maiden is cool though. I think we keep Impale though, and we get a summon out for the Warlock.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be a cool one to show.
Summon Skeleton. It's really overpowered, guys. If you run a summon and you run Unholy Infestation, it gets very overpowered. But we won't do that. Got to make it a little bit challenging on myself. And then we have a talent system. So you get 3 skills to start the game there, guys. And then we are going to make it, by the way. There's a little preview. It's not in yet. But we are going to make it so the amount of points you put in determines what level of skill you can use. So some of these might be like a level 2, and you can't use them unless you go 2 into rogue kind of thing. Just a heads up for potential change. In terms of the talents, it's your standard RPG talents, mining bonuses, dialogue bonuses. Talk to animals, just a tip, guys. This is generally not needed because you will get a party member who has this talent right at the start. So I'm going to go medium, just so that we can have the potential to talk to ghosts. And, yeah, let's begin.
I love how it drops you right into the game.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that transition is smooth.
Yeah, it is a smooth transition, but I will say that we do have a different plan for the actual start to the game once you in early access. So we are planning to start the game with a sort of animated comic style cinematic. So a la Divinity Original Sin 2, The Witcher 3, how they start off with those like comic style cinematics. We are planning to start it with that, and then you'll
Cool.
play sort of like a bit of a dream sequence, and then you will wake up in this camp. So there is going to be some stuff happening before this in the early access release, but for the purpose of the demo, like you said, we do drop you right in, and we just give a little bit of narrative context with some dialogue here. So I'll just start reading here. You focus on your most vivid memory, standing on the deck of a Heroes Guild ship, caught in a storm and reeled violently into merciless waves of the sea. The turbulence of the incident and the morbid taste of seawater in your lungs still lingers. Another memory returns to you. You are traveling with 2 companions, Aska and Lucite. You begin to search frantically for them, combing through a monotonous sea of brown robes and drab tents, and finally catch a glimpse of them situated near the camp's exit. You should reunite with both of them before continuing your journey. So we start off here, guys. You can obviously click around to move. You can talk to most of the people here. For people who have played the game before, nice new feature is turning to face people to talk to them, like you just saw there. That's a new sort of just a little graphical thing that we've added in there. Guy in here, you can talk to him and you can learn some mechanics about the game. He'll explain them to you, but we don't need to do that now. We'll go over and recruit our Heroes Guild companions. Notice one of your companions, Aska, bent forward while seated on a nearby bench, her face in pallid shade, and her knuckles turned white from her grip. You recall that she shielded both you and your companion, Lucite, from the raging gyrations of the sea's storm. Oh, I skipped that by mistake. Hey there, Armin, might need a little time. Aska's sentence faltered as she became overcome with nausea. She emptied the contents of her stomach onto the ground, slowly straightening herself with a look of embarrassment on her face. I'm sorry, I might need a moment or two to get ready. So you're seeing here, guys, for a lot of the major characters in the game, we are going to have these nice, detailed illustrations, and we do have expression changes as well. Might need a moment or two to get ready. Let's ask her if she's ready. I think so. Sorry for making you guys wait. And we'll tell her not to worry, rest for as long as you need. Takes a deep breath, and then she's excited, she's ready to go. And then we're gonna get, let's get her in here. And you'll see she gives you the Wild Heart talent, and so you didn't need to get that at the beginning. Next, we're gonna get Lucite. At the edge of the pilgrim's camp stood a knight adorned in gleaming armor and disciplined posture, tapping his foot upon the lush grass with an unsettling rhythm. He scans the vicinity in search of something, or someone, long overdue. At his gaze meets your own, his impatient look turned into a stern stare, and he calls out to you in an exasperated voice. Armin, there's no time to waste. We need to find a new vessel so that we may resume our journey to the Andra post-haste. So we can ask some things to him, but for the purpose of this video, I don't want to bore you guys too much with dialogue. I'm going to try to get through it relatively quickly. We're going to recruit Lucite into the party. Glad you're as raring to go as I am, Armin. And then Lucite's going to kind of explain to you the mission of the Heroes Guild. Again, this will be explained to you at the start of the game in the early access release, but just to give the demo players some context here. We were tasked by the Heroes Guild with a matter of grave importance, safeguarding a package to be delivered to the Guild's New Acre branch by the coast of the New World. Along the way, our ship was torn apart by a storm of unprecedented magnitude, lost to the sea, along with the crew on board with us. We managed to survive thanks to Aska's protective barrier, which shielded us from harm until we washed ashore on Respite Island. The package remains safe with me as well. In order to continue our mission, we must search for a new seaworthy vessel capable of traveling to the Andra. Respite Island is known for having a port that attracts traders from around the world, so ships of all sizes should be fairly commonplace once we reach the inland. We also need a crew to man this ship. Specifically, we'll require a helmsman, a navigator, and a resourceful boatswain. Sorry guys, I'm not familiar with marine terminology, so sorry if I butchered that. If we want to complete our journey safely. Lastly, we will want something to ward against the storms that plague these waters. Respite Island was once a haven to the elven folk, who may have left behind artifacts that can aid us in achieving that. Thank you for the refresher. And we'll get going. So yeah, guys, you can see the quest journal down here. That's given us 3 new quests, and these are going to be kind of your main quests in the early access release when you're on Respite Island. You're going to be looking to find a crew, recruit people to join your, to come onto your ship and join your crew to navigate to the new world. You're going to want to find a elven artifact to protect you from the mysterious storms out at sea, the maelstrom that is causing ships to wash ashore on Respite Island, which is leading to a lot of conflict on the island, as the players will see. And looking for a boat, of course, a seaworthy vessel. So we can talk to the characters around camp. I'll show you guys the merchant UI here. Skip through this dialogue here, asked to see his wares. And so you'll see the dialogue, it's a bartering dialogue, or dialogue, sorry, the merchant window. It's barter style. So these are some items that the merchant has, and you can put them in here, and you can kind of balance each side, and by clicking that button, and it's a barter system. You've probably seen it in RPG games before. We'll close this, because we're poor right now and we can't buy anything yet. We can go and talk to the dog and pick up a quest here. We'll ask him what his name is. No, that's just a silly name you 2 legs have given me. My name is Reginald Dog Freyson, but you can call me Reggie. Nice to meet you, Reggie. I see a question in chat here. How many people can be in your crew? So we're going to have a crew size. I think we're probably going to have 3 main crew members that you can recruit. But then there'll be other people that you can bring onto your ship as well to sail with you, which aren't like crew members per se, but they're like little bonuses. Like if you find a pet on Respite Island, he can go onto your ship. And you'll kind of, it'll be cool because you can kind of, your ship will be kind of your home base on Respite Island, and you'll see it kind of slowly populate with people that you met and achievements and stuff like that. So ask him what's up, and he says he's recently popped his favorite plaything by biting too hard into it with his strong chiseled jaw. How can we help with that? I'd be forever in your debt if you could repair the fun sphere. You will probably need some kind of sticky glue, and to find someone good with crafting to fix it. Alright, we'll accept that. And he gives us some ball fragments and wants us to repair his ball. Other thing we can do in here, we can talk to Mora here, the Pilgrim Elder, to learn more about the pilgrims here in the camp and why they're here, but you guys can check that out when you play the demo. Right now I'm talking to the gardener over there, and we can ask her for something to deal with seasickness. She'll give us a free lemon. And is there anything else we should do in here before we leave? Pels doesn't have anything for you anymore. I think we can safely head out there, guys. And we've got a new quest in the log for Reginald's ball there. So as we kind of venture forth here, just kind of an explanation of the UI. We've got the journal here on the bottom left. Then we've got the inventory. Yeah, you can switch between your party members here. We'll equip this ring to give us some magic barrier. And with the party members, you can kind of have them take multiple classes at the start. So you'll see Ask also has a bow and arrow that you can use. She also started with a scroll of resurrection in case someone dies. And Lucite also has an Aeromancer build. So you can use their kind of starting weapons to have them play a different class if you wanted to. If you picked Warrior, maybe you want to switch Lucite to more of an Aeromancer focused, but that's for another playthrough there.
And how are you cycling through the character's inventory? You just clicking on their icon there?
Exactly, yeah. So I guess in your stream you probably can't see my cursor. Maybe you can, but yeah, so when you open the inventory and you click the portraits, it will cycle through by just clicking. Alternatively, outside the inventory, you can switch to control the party members. So now I'm controlling Aska, and then if I pop her inventory open, it'll be hers. You have a lot of flexibility with your party. So here you can change the formation with this button in the bottom right if you want to choose how your party is set up. Like I said, you can switch the character that you control and who leads, and you can even split characters off. So now I'm going to take just Aska and me down here. Check out this dinosaur eating an arm.
I love that you can change the order. That's something that's always super annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then, like, yeah, so Lucid, he's off on his own now. You could go and position him somewhere else on the map. You could totally split your party up if you wanted to. But let's bring him back in there. And he's back in the party now. We are going to search this tree right here, because this is going to hopefully give us the sticky substance we need to repair the ball. So let me talk to Aska. Ask her if she has any talents that could come in useful. She starts talking about not being able to cook very well. Say that she looks good in battle, and that Lucite can do the cooking in the party. And then she says, I just remembered I'm pretty good at crafting. So then we can ask her to fix the broken ball, and she does that for us. Now, we could have also crafted it ourselves in the crafting menu. We're going to be overhauling this UI, by the way, FYI. But you could have also crafted it here and gotten it that way if you wanted to. But why don't we just go back to Reginald real quick and complete that quest. Here we go. We fixed your ball. Seems you had the fun sphere properly fixed, Two Legs. Kinda seems smaller than before. Say some of the material was lost. As a reward for your valiant efforts, please take this. It belongs, or should I say, once belonged to the hag servant. She seemed particularly fond of them, so I hid them from her last week after she annoyed me with wet time. Are you sure I should have this?
Nice.
You could always return it if you feel bad. Anywho, be sure to stop by again, arm and the valiant legs. Yeah, so he gave us more as boots. And we see that these boots have Geomancer, so they'd be great for Aska. So we'll go ahead and
Unique
equip
boot.
those to Aska. And then these we can just leave in the inventory. We don't need to put that on anybody else. So that was a productive start there. Travel back this way. So as I was saying, yeah, you have a lot of flexibility with your party and how you position them and how you align them and how you kind of split them up to as you approach battles and stuff like that. So your settings here, you got all the standard ones. You can set your hotkeys, sound settings, graphics, that kind of stuff. And then this is your utility window. This is where you set your active skills. We are working on this UI still. I see some of it is under construction. And then here's the log down here. So if you kind of want to see everything that's happening in battle and stuff like that, you can enable and disable that. So anyways, I'll start going here. In terms of the camera, right now, I tend to like playing with the free camera and kind of moving it around as I move my character. But you can also have the camera just follow the player like this. But if you see the camera kind of moving around weirdly, that's just because I'm controlling it with the WASD keys. So like any RPG, you can loot. And I got this letter. I'm not going to read it there for you guys, but you find a lot of kind of cool lore items like that. And we did find a pickaxe, so now we have the capability to mine. Moving forward, sorry, sometimes if I'm pausing, guys, it's just because I'm taking a peek at the YouTube live chat there. So here we have some plants here that we can pick. Herb lore is a part of the game and important for crafting, so you always want to pick up plants as you see them. We got some prickleweed there. And now we see we're about to approach our first battle here. Now, we will, hopefully for early access, have a ambush system in the game. So there'll be kind of more interesting way to start battle than just walking into it. But for now, we will go ahead and approach. And this is a combat tutorial. We don't need to go through this because I'm going to explain everything as I play. You can use Y to flick the camera back onto the person whose turn it is. But yeah, so guys, here you can kind of see the turn order at the top. This is decided by initiative, like I said earlier. And then on every turn, you will have action points and movement points to use. So we see that 1 unit on the grid equals 1 movement point. And we have 4 movement points to start for Lucite. And we have 3 action points. And then you cast skills, and skills consume different levels of action points depending on their power level. So, and then we kind of just go through in the order along the top here. And yeah, let's just get right into it here. So I'm going to start off. I can't reach them with the amount of movement that I have. So I'm going to cast Lucite's lightning bolt. So the lightning bolt, it strikes a target with lightning, inflicting shock for 1 turn, and it's resisted by magic barrier. Note a bug, Matt, to note down. We're seeing that the tooltip says set shocked for 0 turns below the description there, so we'll just want to fix that. Yeah, so essentially what that means is that you see if you right click the enemies, you can examine them, and you'll see that the baby Rek'Site has low magic barrier and higher armor. So I want to target that character with magic attacks, because after I break its armor, the statuses will be inflicted on them, and it'll be more powerful attack. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the lightning. It's going to do a crazy 14 damage. So that did break through his magic barrier, and it did shock him. So now he is taking 1 air damage per turn. His water resistance is lowered, and his movement points are lowered as well, so he can't move as far. Then I still have 1 AP left, but I can't move any further, so I'm going to go ahead and Sheathe in Wind. This will make my weapon do air damage for a turn duration. We can see the statuses here on the left and up here on the turn bar, and you see the 4 in the clock icon. That means it's good for 4 turns. So we have sort of added wind damage for 4 turns. I'm going to end my turn now. And so those bees just moved. I guess none of us were in range to be attacked, so they just moved up. Now I have Aska here. And with Aska, I'm going to position myself here. I'm going to start off with a trap. So I'm going to put a trap down in front of Lucite, because I think that the Rek'Site is going to walk up and melee attack Lucite, and instead he's going to walk into the trap and get ensnared. And then I'm going to use my 1 AP. Each wand and melee weapon, every weapon comes with a basic 1 AP, 0 cooldown skill. So any skill, when you use it, you'll see a 3 there. I can't use that for 3 more turns. But this one here, with the blue background that comes with my staff, I can use this one unlimited per turn, and it doesn't have a cooldown. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Hit the dinosaur for 5 earth damage there, and end my turn. Now I'm on my turn, and I'm going to start off with a hasten. This is always a great starter. It's very powerful. Get you more action points. But this was a 3 AP summon, so maybe I should have summoned first, but that's okay. We'll walk up, and no, I can't. I don't have enough range to get to an enemy, so we'll just end turn. It's okay, because any unused action points you have, they will carry over into the next turn. So next turn, with my 4 AP per turn now, because I'm hastened, I'm going to have 6 AP. It's going to be a very powerful turn. So I'll end my turn there. I'm going to come again.
Yeah. One question is difficulty. Like for the demo, is there just going to be the one difficulty, and then in the game, what are the plans for that?
Yeah, so in the demo it'll just be one difficulty, which is I would say is kind of like a medium difficulty. If you've played tactics games before, you'll probably be pretty good. It won't be too difficult. But also depend on the build that you choose, obviously. So it's in the demo it'll be kind of a medium difficulty. In early access, we're hoping to have difficulty levels in at that point, but it might not be something until the full game. So overall, we're leaning more towards a challenging tactics experience, though, rather as opposed to it being easy. But difficulty levels are definitely planned for the full release, and then it'll probably be a standard medium tactician for hard combat focused and a story focused, which makes the combat much easier. So now I'm on Lucite, and I kind of screwed up here because I thought that the Rek'Site was going to attack Lucite, so I put this trap down in front of him, but the Rek'Site then went to me, and now I've kind of locked myself in with Lucite. You'll see this poison surface on the ground. If I walk in that, I will get poisoned. So I don't really want to go in that, but if I walk here, I'm going to hit my own trap, so I can't go that way either. So I kind of screwed up there.
I think we just trained the AI too well.
What's that, sorry?
I think we trained the AI too well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, we've been working a lot on the
Maybe it's
AI
too difficult.
decision making, and now it's becoming a problem for the player. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do is, this is only a 1 AP skill. I'm just gonna suck it up and get poisoned. And I'm gonna hit this Rek'Site with my standard melee attack, and then I'm going to start digging away at the other one's magic barrier. See, I didn't break his magic barrier that time, and so the Stormcloud skill did not inflict shocked because he still had his magic barrier at the end. Now I'm going to get out of the poison and run back there. Bees are doing 5 poison damage each. Bees won't be affected by the surfaces. They shouldn't be affected by the traps either, because they're floating. So now Aska's poisoned as well because her magic barrier got broken. I am going to go ahead and try to finish off this guy here. See if this can do it. This is a simple 2-target vine attack that does earth damage. Didn't quite get him, but I can move back here and then launch this rock, and that finishes off that guy. And then now I have my 6 AP turn, so I'm going to spawn a skeleton. I'm going to spawn him here. And then we're gonna go with an impale on this guy. And that's doing piercing, so that's actually perfect. We didn't have to worry about the armor. Piercing damage goes through armor. And then I'll just do a regular attack to finish off there. I'm gonna move back a bit.
Now, another question some people might have is, do these bees produce honey, or are they more of a hornet or a wasp?
I would say that they are more on the bee side of things. I would say they don't, I mean, they don't produce honey. We don't have that mechanic in the game, but...
Will that be added?
Oh, actually, do they drop honey? They might drop honey. We'll have to see after we kill them.
All right.
That question, it might already be implemented. I do see a
You
question
already
in chat.
thought of it.
Yeah, well, Gulai might have thought of it already. Question in chat says, can you increase the max AP and MP slots. Yes, so currently you can increase your max AP and max MP, but like I said at the beginning, we might be removing that ability, and instead it might just increase in a linear fashion based on hitting specific levels, just so we have some more control over that. So I'm back with Lucite, and I'm going to use my disarmed skill. So what this does is it's going to do a lot of physical damage for me. It's going to also initiate my sheathed in wind, because it's a melee attack. And if I was attacking someone with a weapon, it would significantly limit the skills that they can do, because they'll be prevented from using weapon-based skills. Now that has no effect on a dinosaur that's just attacking with his hands, but it will still do a lot of damage for me. It's a 3 AP skill. So you see I just did about 30 damage there. And then I'll end my turn. Let's go use the skeleton here to hopefully finish off the wreck site. And then we'll take a shot at the bees. Now, I am going to use a heal spell here.
Gulai confirmed that the bees pollinate flowers with human blood.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
So that clears that up.
Glad we got to the bottom of that one. Took a bit of a dark turn, but
Yeah.
they are bees, I guess.
Killer bees.
Yeah, exactly. So I will go ahead and regenerate my armor. Healing spells are very, very important in this game. So you can see that the enemies, even in this very first battle of the game, they were doing pretty decent damage to my party per hit. Now, Magic Berry and armor will regenerate outside of battle. Health will not. You'll need to regenerate health by eating food, drinking potions, finding objects on the map that heal you, or going to healer NPCs. So I'm going to go ahead and heal my character using Aska, get his armor back up. And then I'll move over here and do a ranged spell. Now, these bees are pretty weak to physical. I'm going to go ahead and, because I'm hastened, I'm going to get a lot of attacks here. Hit him with 4 straight lacerates. And he is bleeding because of that. That means he's going to take a bit of damage per turn. For 2 turns. Now we have Lucite again. I want to focus on melee damage because of how weak these bees are to it. Let's see if we can... Yeah, we should be able to finish off this bee here. Now he's at 1 HP, so he'll definitely die on his turn, so I don't need to worry about hitting him again. I'll go ahead and take a strike on that other bee. And then we'll also get our skeleton over there. And get him to do a couple melee attacks as well. Lucy definitely taking some damage. There goes that bee on his turn. And Aska cannot shoot her projectile through the skeleton there, so she's blocked from performing that. You can shoot over smaller enemy and characters. Just FYI, if there's like a dog or a slime or something, you could shoot over it, but the skeleton blocks it. So I'm instead going to just heal Lucite on this play. He was taking quite a bit of damage there, and then I'll end my turn. And once again, I've kind of blocked myself out here. I think I'm just going to poison myself. It's unlikely I'm going to lose on my magic barrier anyways. This fight's basically over. And you can see the strength of Hasten getting these extra attacks in. Allowing me to do a ton of damage on my turn. And we'll go ahead and we'll finish him off with Lucite. trap goes off because the battle ended. The summons disintegrate, and we get our little victory screen here.
Now, what are the types of stats that come up on that victory screen?
Yeah, so that was, I believe, showing XP gained. That's an important thing, is XP is gained on a battle level instead of individual enemy level. So it'll show your XP gained, it'll show your damage done per character, and I think it'll give you your battle time as well, if I remember correctly. And there you go. See, we do find some honey there. So, the question has been answered. And here we actually found a really good item. This is going to come in handy later. The Scroll of Rainfall. So, scrolls just let you do skills on a one-time basis using a consumable item rather than a skill. So, they're very powerful. It does cost 2 AP, but that is going to be useful for us later. And that's going to be a good time to explain the weather system in the game. Find a health potion here. I'm not going to loot everything, guys, just in the interest of time. I see we're already an hour into the stream, and we've only gotten past the first battle. Oh, I do find a shield. Okay. Oh, but I have a two-handed weapon. So if I didn't have a two-handed weapon, I could equip that shield in my offhand. So what I'll do is send it over to Aska, and then we'll give Aska the shield. So you can see, guys, if you played an older build of the game, you'll recall the party members were not fully customizable. Now they are completely customizable. And you can see I just put a shield on Aska, and she also has some new boots from before. That shield is giving her nothing useful, really. She gets more magic barrier and armor, but she had nothing there before, so it was definitely useful. And we can also go ahead and put her arrows on for an extra 1 armor. That goes into the back slot. And yeah, we're a little bit not full health, but it's not a big deal. There's another beehive tree we can search here. Get a soldier's note. And we come up here on a ghost who I can talk to because I got that talent at the beginning. Surge of energy courses through you, connecting you to the realm of the spirits. What previously was a faint apparition is now clear to you. A man's ghost with sorrow etched into his eyes and an expression of longing and melancholy. We ask him who he is. He says, I can't remember. I can't say I remember. My memories elude me, like fragments scattered to the winds. I recall names, blurred faces, but they hold neither meaning nor connection to one another. And then we're going to tell him, you're a pilgrim and you're dead. Pilgrims, there's a glimmer of a little something there. I remember walking amongst others in search of solace. Wait, I'm dead? No, it can't be. I'm not ready for the afterlife. A moment of realization passes through the spirit's expression. Yeah, that's it. You're done. The corpse on the ground belongs to you. And he remembers his name now. I'm just going to check chat real quick. Volt's going to die in the first fight. Yeah, so that didn't prove to be true. Guy did pretty good on that first fight.
No faith.
Accept quest.
Those guys in chat have no faith.
I know, they don't know that I'm like
What
the
a
best
jerk.
player on the team, okay? Like, we know that
I would hope so.
certain people on the team, they have a bit of a struggle playing the game. It's a bit embarrassing, but...
You want to call anyone out?
No.
Yeah, I'll say his name, Kimosabi. I'll say him. I'll name him. This guy's been complaining about the difficulty for
name drop
for weeks. This is interesting. This is a bug to note there, Matt, is we are able to move the free camera around in dialogue. Not really game-breaking or anything, but probably shouldn't be allowed.
Gotcha.
Okay. He's talking about his regrets as an unpaid debt to Gaian, and we're going to help him out with that debt. Should I bother doing that quest? I'm going to just move on. I don't want to take too much time going back and talking in the Pilgrim's Camp. Although that is a cool quest, but I'll leave that for the players of the demo to check out.
No spoilers.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil too much here, guys, so we can mine these nodes with our pickaxe. And we did get a lucky drop from that. We got a sapphire, which is pretty cool. There's crafting in the game, guys. There's mining, fishing, herblore. All that is in the game. All part of kind of the crafting mechanics. Okay, and this is a talisman that we dropped in here so that you could talk to that person, even without the talent. But we can go ahead and we can wear that, I believe, and get +3 magic barrier. And we're coming up on another fight here. We'll just get started. So this is definitely a little bit more of a challenging fight. We've got 3 wreck sites, and we've got an adult wreck site here. I am going to... I'm gonna start with... I'm gonna slow one of the wreck sites here at the back so that they can't get to us on the first turn.
They look pissed.
We shocked him. He was already shocked. I'm also gonna go... And... I'm actually not gonna use that yet. I'm gonna just sheath and win because I shocked him up with that first thing, so he's less MP. Hopefully he can't get all the way to us. Although I do recall we've been buffing the enemy MP lately, so that might not be true. So the adult dinosaur just powered up all the baby dinosaurs on that turn. The baby wreck sites now are getting extra AP per turn. That's going to make them very formidable. We're going to try again with this trap. It's really powerful if you can pull it off. If you had Aska's, if we were playing Archer Aska, we could do a cool combo where we put a trap down and then we do a forceful shot, arrow shot, which pushes enemies back. That would be a combo available to us if we were playing Archer Aska, but we're not. So I am going to stand right here and hopefully bait him to attack me. We'll give him one rock to the face. We're definitely going to want to get our skeleton out early here, so I'm not going to hasten on the first turn. I'm going to come over here and put the skeleton in front of Blue's seat. Try to take some damage for him. Skeleton gets to go right away. That's perfect. And let's get him just right up here. And hopefully, you know, he'll probably die, but he can absorb a lot of damage for us up there. And he goes right around the trap, of course. They're kind of nice and focused on the skeleton there, so I'm going to leave them, and let's just finish off this one on us. And, maybe I should have actually tried to slow another one. We'll save this for next turn. I'm going to go one attack, and then I'm going to go... No, I'll save that. I'm just going to go a couple regular attacks here. Just try to finish off this one wreck site that's already on us. Okay. Now the adult wreck site has cast the earthquake skill, which causes a weather effect. So this is pretty unique feature to Guild Saga Vanished Worlds, and that is the battlefield status system, which we call weather. So if you look up here in the top right, this is the weather indicator. It was previously clear skies. Now it's dust storm. So players are taking physical damage on their turn, and they have impaired sight. So they have reduced accuracy. So it's harder to hit. And the wreck sights are resistant to impaired sight, so they're not affected by it. But we have something for that. So we'll wait for my turn, but for Aska, we will just try to deal some damage to this wreck site that's on us. And we miss one, unfortunately. And you'll recall that we picked up this rainfall scroll. This is really nice for this battle because what we can do with this is we can make the weather rainy, and that will override the dust storm. So there we go. We no longer have impaired sight. We are wet, which is not ideal, but it's better than having that reduced accuracy. So now it's raining on the battlefield, and players get wet on their turn. Not a big deal. And we have these random water puddles being created.
Very cool. What are some of the other weathered effects?
Yeah, so...
Or are there any planned?
Oh, yes. We're going really deep into the weather system. There's going to be a lot of weathers, and they're going to be expanded quite a bit. So right now, these are kind of more simple weathers to start off, you know, like giving a status, or making it harder, like lowering accuracy. But we're also going to have things like lightning storm. So imagine this kind of rainy one, but it's also random lightning strikes are coming in throughout the battle and doing damage. And then we'll also have versions of weather that are, it's like that, where there's a threatening sort of like skill being cast. Like we'll have a meteor shower one. But with this one, you'll be able to see where the meteors are going to land, and you'll be able to move out of the way if you can. Or you'll be able to push enemies into where they're going to land, and then they'll get caught by the meteor strike. And then we'll have some even higher level ones, which will kind of really change the battlefield and change the battle significantly. For example, we have one planned called Apocalypse. This is a warlock one. This will make the battlefield really dark and misty. It will cause random gravestones to pop up, and every turn cycle, a random skeleton or undead creature will come up from the ground and join the battle. So
wow, crazy.
Yeah, so we're really going to be expanding on the weather system a lot, and there's like different tiers of how complex it can be.
That's so cool.
So yeah, well, we just cleared this weather here, and you see the random puddles. There's a lot of complexity to the surface system in terms of how different surfaces interact with each other, in terms of how statuses on characters interact with surfaces, and how skills interact with surfaces. So you can kind of play around quite a bit with that. If we were to use Lucite and like electrocute the water, it would become electric water, and then it would stun enemies. So there's a lot of interesting things you can do with that. With the poison ground, you can hit it with fire damage and cause explosions. Stuff like that can be really useful for you as a player in battle. So I cast the rain with 2 AP. I'm just going to work on this guy a bit more. He's down to 4 health. Unfortunately, we could not finish him off. He will get another turn, which sucks, but that's okay. This skeleton is dead meat. He's totally surrounded, but we'll just try to do as much damage as we can with him. It's really unfortunate I wasn't able to finish that wreck side off there, because they've got multiple. Because they're inspired, they have those multiple attacks. But we've got 2 down pretty low. This guy has 2 HP, and he's taking 2 piercing damage per turn because of the bleeding, so he is dead. I don't have to deal with him. I'm instead going to go up and... Actually, I'm not going to go up. I'm just going to do a storm cloud from back here. Because he was wet, and I hit him with an electric attack, he is now paralyzed. This is a really powerful combination right now. It probably will get nerfed, but for now it's fair game. Any character that's wet, you hit them with an electrical move, it will paralyze them, which means they are unable to move. And I'm going to do this. And do some damage on that wreck site there. Now with Aska, I am going to start... yeah, I'm in a bit of trouble over there. I've got no armor and kind of low health, so I'm going to heal myself, and then I'm going to shoot a rock at the adult. I really don't want him to cast Earthquake again. That would be really bad for me. That would overwrite my rain and get these wrecks and reduce my accuracy again. I'm going to finally hasten. I haven't had a chance to do that yet. This guy will die on his turn. This guy I'm going to hit with an impale. And then I'm going to walk away. The skeleton actually survived there. They didn't finish him off, which is great. And we're just going to start chipping away at this last smaller one. I think generally a good move is to get rid of the adult as quickly as possible. We took kind of an opposite approach this time, but that's fine. There goes that wreck site at the end of his turn. And we might be able to just finish this guy off with the lucky roll on the lightning strike. No, we only hit 8. So that was an unlucky roll there. It does 7 to 14. But he is paralyzed, which is good. So I'm going to hit him, and then I'm going to walk away so that that wreck site can't reach me again. It's great. The adult is just unloading into our meat shield there. See if Aska can finish off the wreck site. Yes, she can. Perfect.
Now, is there a benefit to attacking enemies from behind with the rogue?
Yes, there is. That's a good point. Yeah, so that we do have a backstab function in the game. So with Rogue, it would be beneficial for me to be getting up behind enemies, which I just noticed I have not been doing. So that's a good tip there. Bit of a noob move by me not backstabbing, but that's a big thing with the flank skill.
A little embarrassing.
A little bit embarrassing. Very humiliating,
Oh, I
honestly.
didn't know there was a backstab.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm going to start creeping up behind this guy here. I'm not going to be able to reach him, and then I've wasted my turn. See, now I'm just falling apart here. I've just wasted a couple
We're
AP.
all over the place.
All over the place here. I'm just going to have to end my turn. Our skeleton is dead, and the summons currently only last for a specific turn length. We are going to be changing that. We'll see how the new one works. Yeah, now we can really just gang up on this adult wreck site here. I'm going to, with Lucite, I'm going to hit him with a regular attack, and then I'm going to defensive stance. This is going to bring my armor back, and it's going to put me in a defensive stance, so that if the wreck site attacks me, I'm going to deflect to the half of the damage. So he does Earthquake again, which sucks. And, okay, but he walks into the trap. Excellent. I feel like defensive stance did not activate there on the adult wreck site, so something to note, Matt, to check out.
Will do. Yep.
I'm not sure.
Did he trigger the trap?
What's that, sorry?
Did he trigger the trap? Is he paralyzed?
Yes, he did trigger the trap, but I think defensive stance... What might have happened there is he cast the Earthquake. Yes, that's what happened. He cast the Earthquake. Never mind, that's not a bug. He cast the Earthquake. The Earthquake did a bit of damage to Lucite, and that wasted the
Got it.
defensive stance. So never mind. As I thought through it, it makes sense. We will go ahead and... regular boulder there, and it misses because of the impaired sight. It does suck that so there we have a backstab. Backstab gives guaranteed critical. And this is actually really good that I'm right up behind him here. And that's 6 attacks in a row there. Very good result. And I am going to go use my disarmed, and that just kills him instantly. That's a very powerful skill. Yeah, so we see enemies defeated, combat duration. There's a 14-minute battle. Wow, that's pretty extensive. And 22 XP gain for the party. And then we see damage done and healing. Lucite doing a ton of damage. Asuka doing some healing there. And we get a level up. Perfect. So we can showcase the leveling. Oh, I got a hat. I feel like this is a hat Armin would wear. Little military beret style.
Very cool.
And I got an egg. Not the best drop from the adult dino, but we'll take what we can get here. Just gonna finish looting and then I'll level up. So, the level up screen currently, we're going to be expanding this, but you can just allocate your points on the left here. So, we're just going to keep stacking decks. Just want to get that maximum damage output. And, yeah, we'll go into Rogue. And these are your dialogue attributes here, so these will affect your ability to intimidate, inspire, and to persuade in dialogue, basically unlocking options for you. So I think with the rogue we like intimidate, that's kind of on theme. And we have Asuka, let's give her some more health. And yeah, we'll go Geo. She's more of an inspiring type, I think.
Do any classes have dialogue buffs?
No. None have dialogue buffs. You can use the backstories to get some dialogue buffs at the start of the game, but like putting points into attributes won't impact it. There are items that you can get. Some items will give you dialogue attributes.
Interesting.
So if you have like a really intimidating armor piece or something, it could give you like a plus intimidate, for example. Lucite here. Let's give him some strength. We're doing a lot of effective damage with that destructive strike. We're using a sword. And we will give him warrior. And we'll give him intellect. That's on theme for him. Just a note, Matt, for a bug. With the new portrait switching system that we implemented, when you level up, it's possible to, because you open the inventories like this, it doesn't get rid of the level up notification.
Gotcha.
When you level up like this, so just note that. Whoa, big drop here. Oh, and it's giving plus dexterity. This is unfortunately a very feminine armor. I don't know if it really suits Armin, but it's okay.
He's a feminine guy.
So we get plus 6 armor. We got a counterfeit atavist pelt. is actually going to be really effective. That was a really good drop for us. And we can also learn Rejuvenate. I'm going to give that to Aska, I think, as our healer. So Aska learns Rejuvenate. And we also got this Smuggler's Note. Pick up at 6, don't be late. Are small. I believe we have one more fight up here. Because we leveled up, we regained full HP. This is a very basic 2 Rexite battle here. We have a question in chat here. It says, this is from J. Caesar. He says, what kind of loot can we expect from mobs versus chests? Does it matter? How do loot tables in the game work? So, loot tables in the game, it's a bit complicated, but to keep it at a high level, essentially each lootable object has a number of different loot baskets. And within those loot baskets, there's a probability of various different items to drop. It's the same mechanic for the enemy drops and as the loot tables, or as the lootable objects around the map. But obviously the main difference will be, like, the enemies will typically drop items that relate to them. Like later we'll fight a Hydro Shark. It'll has a high chance to drop a shark fin, that kind of thing. Whereas, you know, around the objects and in the crates and stuff, you'll find crate type things. In a chest, you'll find like a high level item, same as on a high level enemy. You know, so there's some similarities and there's some differences, but I think the big thing is like the thematic expectation that you have in terms of what comes from an enemy you just killed versus what comes from like a chest, for example.
Oh, we stayed in the water.
Oh, there we go. So we just hit this guy. He's standing in electrified water. The water became electrified because I hit him with the cloud. He got shocked from the skill, I believe. But he didn't get paralyzed. I think something in the order of operations there. He didn't have he still had magic barrier when he would have got paralyzed. And so it was resisted. A lot happened there. It's kind of hard to tell, but yeah. So we saw there kind of the interaction between skills and surfaces. Oh, I just shocked myself there. That was not too smart. Oh, Aska is, oh, she's shocked. Or no, she's paralyzed, so she can't move. Okay. Right, 'cause she's in here as well. It's okay, though. In the combat, you can hold down spacebar to speed up the, like the enemy turns. Gonna go ahead and do one melee attack. I'm gonna hit 2, and then I'm gonna go Destructive Strike. should be able to finish in this turn easily. Easier fight. Care for a drink? Are you sure we should be drinking from a random puddle in a jungle? There could be parasites swimming around in there. Oh, it's completely safe, I promise. Skin kneel downs and cups her hand to take a few mouthfuls. See, perfectly hunky-dory. Just explaining how she knows. Bubbles forming there. It's a sign that there are clusters of magically charged minerals on the waterbed, which keeps the waters pure. Being able to source for clean water like this is how my people have survived for generations. Interesting. Not something I've come across in writing, but who am I to question the ability of a long-lived tribe when it comes to seeking potable water? Lucy takes a drink, and then she says, it's not like we still do that these days, though. The last few decades, we've just had our hydromancers do a little spell to purify our drinking stores. Drinking water from the wild is really a romantic thing of the past. Well, before I was born. And then his eyes widen mid-sip. We can drink from here to regain our health. We don't need to. Oh no, Lucy gained 1 HP there. Okay. And we can loot it for some water. How are we doing on silver? Not too great. We could go back to the merchant and see if there's anything we can buy. That might be a good idea. I will make a save here. See if there's anything good we can buy here. Maybe we look for, maybe
New
a
belt.
geo. Yeah, we could go with a belt. We could, we have good armor already for our character. We could go for something from...
What is the red?
Let's get a, that's a pyromancy hat there. Let's get a hat of geomancy for Aska maybe, and possibly also, a couple health pots maybe we can afford here. Let's see, so we got 33 gold. And we have a rogue cloak to sell. Okay, never mind. We're not gonna be... We're kind of poor. I hate to say it. Put a thread in there. Untradeable item.
Lounging.
Yeah, we're really, we're really trying to. I had my eyes really on that hydromancy hat. Oh, but I can get that. I have to just take these off. And then yeah, there we go. Accept. Okay. Add in Matt. We want a. Like, I just did a trade, but it didn't play the merchant successful trade sound effect. I know we have that sound done. We just need to implement that. We need the nice satisfying, like, cha-ching when you make a deal. Okay. So, farewell. Thank you. So we'll send that over to Aska. And there we go. Aska has a new hat. Gives her +1 Geomancer. And now we continue. It is going to get a bit more challenging underground once we get there, but I did forget to visit these guys at the start. Or maybe I did, but I didn't go through the test here. So we're talking to this lemur, Mimo, asking him what he's doing up there. He's looking for something that's been taken from his family, and he's looking for a high place to look for it. He says, humans are so unclever they'll never get past his intelligence quiz. And let's ask if we can take the quiz. He says yes, but we might get our feelings hurt. And let's say we're ready for the intelligence quiz now. So Caruso, I think you're our certified absolute big-brained genius on the team. So why don't we give you this intelligence quiz here? So question one.
Gladly.
What has one eye but cannot see? And the options we have here are simple, a needle. Is it a pirate or a beholder?
First one.
A needle. Correct. Impressive for a human, that is. Question 2. What is yours but is used more often by other people? A name, advice, or a taxi?
Number 1.
He's going with a name. Obviously, another good answer. I see questions in chat here.
Do these get any harder, or?
I don't think you're ever going to be stumped, honestly. You're like, this is too easy for you, but, you know, some people might struggle with these. CJ says, maybe still ask his bow and arrow. That would have been smart. I did not think of going to the other inventories. What can make any wish come true? Hard work and determination, dreams, a genie trapped in a lamp, or 7 Dragon Balls?
7 Dragon Balls? I'm gonna say a genie.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna pick that one. Obviously not, is what I would say if I didn't see a pirate someone like that a few days ago. It seems that somehow you've managed to score full marks, human. Congratulations. I would clap for you, but my hands can't reach one another like you humans can, so just imagine that I'm doing it.
Cute little guy.
Now take these prizes for your efforts. Be proud in knowing that you're the first human I've given any to. Bye-bye. Okay, so we've got for our reward there a Keystone of Water. This is going to let us into a secret area at some point. And we also have this Potion of Intelligence. So, new mechanic for people who have played previous builds of the game. Now these potions do work, and you can use them outside of battle. So I believe the functionality I can pop this now, and it will be effective until a battle starts and then the turn duration ends, or if I travel to another map, I'll lose it. So because I think that I'm going to be traveling kind of soon, I'm not going to pop it yet. I will pop it when I get down into the drowned temple. We see this pirate turning another pirate into a shark. And we will approach. So now we're facing our first pirate enemy of the game. The sort of lore around this is because of the maelstrom, these storms out at sea, pirates are being washed up onto Respite Island, and so there's a lot of parts of sort of the underground temple area that have been taken over by pirates, and there's a lot of sort of conflict among the merchants and the Mazan military guard and the pirates on the island. So that's kind of like one of the prevailing conflicts of this area of the game and map. This is a smaller battle here. We've got a Hydro Shark, an archer, and the archer summoned a dog. I am going to not worry about the dog too much yet, and I'm going to focus on these two. We see that our Hydro Shark has weakness to fire, but he's strong to water. And he has equal armor and magic barrier, so I am going to go ahead and hit him with a destructive strike right away. Actually, it would have been way smarter to hit the archer with that, because then she wouldn't be able to shoot arrows. So that was a mistake, but that's okay. Now that I have Rejuvenate, I'm going to be in a really good spot. Rejuvenate brings back Magic Barrier and health. So the dog, he bites and he also marks. So I believe he marked... yeah, he marked Aska, so Aska now gets automatically critted by any bow attacks. It looked like I wasn't paying attention, but I think the archer just did a forceful shot on the skeleton and pushed him back. Volt, question from Matt. Can you teleport to different bases instead of walking? Yes, so very good question. So you won't see it in the demo, but how the travel system works in the game, anytime you go to an exit, this won't count as an exit because it's connected to the same map, but you know, when I went from the camp to the jungle and vice versa, so in the early access game, when you do that, the world map will come up. And you'll be able to select any place you've already been to and quick travel there, or you'll be able to select a new map that exit is connected to that you haven't been yet. So that's how it works. You won't be able to quick travel at any point in time. You will be able to quick travel just by reaching an exit on the map. If you've ever played Pillars of Eternity 1, it's very, very similar to that travel system. We obviously are just kind of, you know, doing the world map is not a priority because we're still in the process of finalizing the last few maps, and sort of like, you know, once we have all the maps done, then it makes sense to do the world map at that point. So that feature will be coming soon, though, for sure. I think that'll probably be one of the first major updates to the closed beta build, if you have access to that, after the demo is released to the public, I should say. Really good question there. Okay, I'm gonna finish off this shark. And I'll hit the pirate with a lightning bolt. Shocked, resisted by magic barrier. I'm gonna put a trap behind her. Archers tend to like to keep their distance and move away, so it might work for me. Skeleton got pushed back, so he can't reach her, unfortunately. There we go, we got her. hasten, so I have a lot of attacks here. Should be almost dead here. Here we go, we can get her with Aska. Oh no, we can't quite get her. There's too much in the way, so I'm just gonna attack the dog. Here we go. So now that we're down here, I am gonna pop my intelligence potion. I would rather Aska have it though, because she uses spells. So I am gonna give her that to consume. And we can see that that's active now, and it's a 6-turn duration, so that should start ticking now that we're in battle. So now we're in kind of a pirate underground lair here. And we see now introducing some new battlefield obstacles. Here we have some smoke. So when you're in the smoke, you are blind. And these rogues have immunity to blind. And blindness will significantly reduce your accuracy. I am going to start off by shocking him so that he has a bit more difficult time reaching me.
Is there any way to remove the smoke?
Yes, so you can. Various skills will remove smoke. I believe there's an Aeromancer skill, like a Cleansing Winds skill, that will, kind of like a tornado type thing, that will erase all surfaces, including smoke. And we did have a, yes, there's also going to be a windy weather, and wind will blow away steam and smoke.
What about seeing in the smoke?
There is going to be a talent, I believe, that will be good for rogues. That allows them to do automatic criticals in the smoke, and not be affected by the reduced accuracy. So the smoke is definitely a rogue play, for sure. Kind of like creeping in the shadows kind of theme there.
Yeah, it's fitting.
So I can backstab with this, which is interesting. Aska's buffed on intelligence, and she has a new hat, so I suspect she'll be very powerful.
There's a question from Matt in the live chat. How to create smoke.
So smoke is... I don't believe you can create smoke from surface interactions currently. Matt, maybe you can know what if there's any interactions that create smoke. Steam is created by mixing water and fire. So if you have fire on the ground and you put it out with water, steam will be created. But I don't know if smoke... Oh no, maybe after an explosion you get smoke? I'm not sure. Matt, do you remember?
Smoke bomb. Matt just had to step out on a call. He'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't... There's definitely going to be skills that can create smoke, but I don't know if any status or surface interactions currently create this kind of smoke. Only steam. Good question, though. Thank you. I don't know why I just walked into this guy.
CJ says pickle weed.
Prickleweed, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's just light up some prickleweed and that'll create some smoke. Yeah, true. Is there a spell to create smoke? There will definitely be. I believe we have a smoke bomb rogue skill planned, but it's not in the demo. you guys are going to start to see a lot of cool new skills in the beta branch pretty soon.
What about those
yes.
pirate? Oh no, go ahead.
No, sorry, you go.
Was this gonna be stupid? What about
Okay.
those pirate pants? Are you gonna get those IRL?
I honestly, I like them.
I think you can pull them off.
I think I can pull them off. But I just feel like people would laugh and make fun of me, you know? I just feel like people aren't ready for it.
Yeah, they're not ready.
Super baggy, rolled up to my shin.
Yeah, it'd be great in a flood, like a flash flood.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that makes sense. They're pirates.
Yeah.
And I said, Matthew Robinson says maybe smoke canisters. Yeah. And we will have like explosive barrels and stuff like that as well. It's my turn. Because I have haste and I can get a lot of attacks off and finish him. I'll move away.
Now, where are we in the game? Like, what are these pirates doing here?
Yeah, so we're right near the start of the game, and we kind of have, we're kind of starting to sort of unravel the kind of key narratives within the Respite Island. So we were washed up on shore on Respite Island. This wasn't part of our mission. We were trying to get to the Andra, the other continent, but we got caught in the storm and we got washed up here. And those storms have been hitting lots of other ships too, such as pirates. And that's caused pirates to be washed up on Respite Island, and they're kind of taking it over. So we have these sort of like caves that were once sort of barren, sort of elven artifacty, and you'll definitely see that in the next few maps. That'll start to really, the sort of elven history of the island will start to kind of seep in a little bit further. But you basically kind of have these washed up pirates that are basically making this their home, these hideouts within the island. And that's why we're kind of running into them here. And like I said, one of the key sort of backstories and sort of key conflicts on the island is the pirates versus the military guard, the pirates versus the merchants, and there's kind of just that ongoing sort of conflict. You have this big crisis where pirates have just like overtaken the island and are causing lots of problems. But right now, in terms of what we're trying to do, we're trying to make our way from the sort of secluded pilgrim camp there and get to Gladeheim, which is the town, main town of Respite Island. And in the town, then, we can start to look for leads to find a ship, or start to recruit people for our crew. And the first objective is to get to Gladeheim. Now, I don't plan on dying. I might die later. The battles will get a little bit more challenging, but if I did die, I can be revived with the Resurrect Scroll, which Aska
Another
spawns with one.
question from Matt. I feel like you answered this one, but I'm not sure. He says, will there be a spell to teleport to certain camps or towns?
Yeah, so we don't have a spell planned for that. That is a good idea for like a scroll of teleportation, but it won't be a big issue to teleport around. You'll be able to, they'll pretty much, there'll always be a map exit probably within like 30 seconds. And once you get to a map exit, you'll be able to pull up the world map, and you'll be able to travel to all the maps you've already found. So fast traveling will definitely not be an inconvenience in the game. Just we don't have it in the demo yet because the world map is not completed. And you don't really need it in the demo because you're just kind of going through a few maps in a linear way. I see a distinct lack of carrots in the game. What can we expect with upcoming carrot gameplay or mechanics? So there is.
I was wondering this too.
Yeah, it's a very important question. I'm glad you asked. So, first of all, in the demo, there are carrots that you can buy. The gardener is selling them at her store. I just didn't open her merchant UI, but you can buy carrots from her, and eating the carrots will give you health. You can also use the carrots in cooking. So you can use the carrots to cook more powerful dishes and give you some bonuses in combat. So that's sort of some of the key uses of carrot gameplay as we start another fight here. And CJ says, I heard they're best when shaven onto your face. I personally haven't heard that, but
yeah, that's a little.
That's interesting.
Sounds odd.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit interesting, but I'll take you for your word on that one. So, just so you know, guys, right now we're really playing a lot of back-to-back battles, but the game won't always be like that. There's definitely going to be a lot of sort of puzzles in the game. There's going to be a lot of sort of little quests that you can do, a lot of talking, obviously. I've kind of been skipping over the dialogue and some of the optional quests in this playthrough just in the interest of time. Because, I mean, we're already 2 hours into the stream here, and we still have a little bit ways left to go here, so I don't want to make it too long. But yeah, just wanted you guys to know that it's not just a battle-to-battle game. There's a lot of narrative and dialogue and puzzles and, you know, a lot of kind of breathing room in between battles. This is definitely a bigger battle here. We've got 2 rogues, 2 archers. And I think that's it. And we have this dog on us here.
What is that green stuff in the middle there?
This stuff here is poison. So if I walk in that, I'll get poisoned. And then this is just an artwork. This is just a pool.
Ah.
There's not really any. It's just decoration.
Mystical
and there's
pool.
some steam on top of it there. So I'm gonna... Oh, that was stupid. I used all my MP and I walked into these... walked into the smoke and blinded myself. That was really dumb. So I'm gonna just defensive stance and end my turn. That was horrific.
Another unforgivably embarrassing move.
Yeah, I know. My reputation is just being destroyed here on this live
Shattered.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a bit of a challenging battle here in that we have that smoke put on the bridge there, so it makes it a little bit tough to attack them from that angle. I'm gonna get my skeleton out there. I'm gonna have him go towards this bridge over here. Asuka, I can leave her to sit back and just do damage. Oh, Lucite in the smoke is blocking here, so I'm gonna have to do a non-projectile attack. Generally, I'm not too concerned with the dogs, so I like to leave them. But I will attack them here just because I don't have any other move. can see here, I have the game on like a locked camera mode, so you can see it's moving around quite a bit more. Typically, though, I like to play just controlling my camera at all times. Okay, let's get Lucite out of the smoke there. Blinded myself again. There we go. And I do have a lot
Panzer
of...
asks, why did the pirates paint the floor with poison?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Valid.
I honestly, I think probably they got drunk, maybe, and they spilt some toxic ooze on the ground. That's what I'm gonna go with. But this seems like a gulag
Classic.
question. Matthew Robinson says forceful shot into poison. Yes, that would be a good play, but I don't have Aska. I'm using a Geomancer Aska build, so I don't have her forceful shot skill. But that would be a good combination. That's why I love playing forceful shot. It's so satisfying to forceful shot an enemy into a trap or into a surface. I'm gonna shock him. I'm trying to do physical to the pirate archer, and I'm trying to do magic to the rogue here.
Panzer says a cool idea might be to have some sort of grenade that when it explodes, it leaves some type of various surface.
Yes.
Might be a cool addition.
Yeah, grenades definitely would be cool. The problem with grenades is that we wouldn't be able to do like a throwing animation. Or else we'd have to like do, you know, anytime we add anything that requires a new base character animation is like a lot of work. So with grenades, we've definitely thought about throwable things, but one of the barriers is the throwing animation. Of course, we could just have it be a projectile that just comes out of you, like the like some of the attacks I've been doing. But that is one of the barriers for that. Now, we definitely will have skills. We have plenty of skills that leave surfaces, and we will have explosive barrels that explode and leave surfaces.
Ah, okay. Just as good.
Now, I used might on my skeleton here, so his attacks are going to be very powerful. She's probably going to push me back here. Nope. Yes, she does. Wow, that was very unfortunate. I really need to heal that skeleton. I don't want him to die. He has 2 turns left on his summon, and he's got might, so I would definitely like to keep him alive if I can.
Have you thought of a name for the skeleton yet, or?
I have not. He has a very generic name
No.
right now, Skeleton Warrior. But just on that note, there will be a really cool companion that you can get in the early access. It's going to be one of the 2 additional companions that you can get in early access, and he will be like a skull that you find, that you dig up from the ground. And then he talks to you, and you have to find all his other different pieces throughout Respite Island, like his arm and his rib cage and his legs. And once you find them all and put them together, he now is like a party
action.
member. It's a little Exodia action, exactly. That's exactly what we were thinking when we came up with that. we need Exodia.
Probably.
Oh, that's horrible. That really sucks. My skeleton died there. That was bad for me. I wasn't paying attention to his health until it was too late. Asuka would have been able to heal him. That's okay, though. Let's get this rogue out of here. Another thing we will be adding in is a dash skill. So, like,
Can run
if you
further.
played exactly like Baldur's Gate 3, so you can, if you have AP left but you have no MP, you can use it to double your movement. I'm gonna save my disarm for this one. Let's just finish her off regularly. Yeah. And then I'm gonna disarm this archer on the next turn. This guy has coated his daggers in poison. And he's doing, so he's doing extra poison damage on each hit. I am going to be able to hit him for a lot of damage here. Got rid of one of the dogs there.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
Welcome back, Matt. I'm gonna see if I can get a disarm off on this 15 to 30 damage, and she only has 5 armor, yeah, so this will be no problem. That is extremely powerful. Gulai, we might want to be nerfing that. That's a bit. I just dropped 30 damage. And disarmed. So she now basically can't use any skills because all her skills are with her bow, except for her dog summon. So he's poisoned and bleeding. He's gonna die in his turn. I don't need to attack him again. I'm just out of range to heal Lucite. Oh, but I'm even lower. Oh yeah, because Asuka has her shield now, she has Bulwark skill and Fortify, so she can regen her own armor with Bulwark and regen others with Fortify. If you're wondering why that skill was there twice, that dog just expired, I believe. We are going to be removing that, so summons are not going to be able to expire anymore. So yeah, this archer is totally nullified by that disarm. He dies to the poison. I can't reach anything. Can't reach anything with Asuka. Do a rejuvenate. Really powerful heal spell. All she can do is run away.
love the lighting effects down there.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
pretty.
the lighting effects, yeah, they really do a lot for... Wait till you guys see some of the other underground
Hmm.
maps that we have in the works. I mean, Matt, you've seen some of them. They're incredibly nice once you get into the more, like, elven-style ruins. And yeah, that's one of the things with the art in our game that Pixel Accountant talked about on his AMA, is that, you know, it's a pixel art game, but we're not going for that, like, exact retro aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like, we're not trying to make the game look like it's actually from, like, the 90s. Um,
Right.
like, we're using modern, like, techniques that Unity provides to us. For example, the lighting effects, right? Um, so we're doing a lot of things like the lighting, the shaders, stuff like that uses modern game game engine technology. Um, it detracts from the perfect retro look, but as you guys said, it looks really, really nice. So we've got a talking treasure chest here. He says, or the narration says, you notice something peculiar? Okay, so Matt, this is a bug here to note. Chesty, this should be narration here at the beginning. It shouldn't be a chesty dialogue.
Gotcha.
You notice something peculiar about the treasure chest, bobbing up and down gently as it floated on the water. A pair of large, expressive eyes which seemed to be peering right in your direction. As you cautiously approached to inspect it further, it let out a shriek, which took you aback. Eek, a pirate. Eek, a talking treasure chest. And we're gonna yell at each other. Wait a minute, you're not making fun of Chesty now, are you? I would never. Oh, phew, that's great to hear. I thought you might be one of those nasty pirates again. Chester Lockbox is the name, but my engravings read Chesty these days, so you can call me that. Now, if I could just latch onto a few seconds of your time. Firstly, thank you for asking. To be honest, I'm as stumped as the wood I'm carved out of. As you can see, I'm stuck in quite the watery predicament, but fear not, despite how I look, I'm really good at being driftwood, and should reach shore in no time at all. Now, on to an issue I've really lost the key to. My wife. You see, my wife, Mrs. Chesty, and I have somewhat drifted apart over the last few weeks. You know the tale. It's commonplace, and a tragic one of longing and separation, and it all happened while I was asleep. You want us to reunite you with your wife? You hit the nail in the cleat, adventurer. Anyways, since it's already been weeks and we've been separated, she has likely cruised somewhere far off into the distance already, so chances of you finding her as slim as picking my lock. We'll help you look for her either way. Okay, so we got a new quest now to help out Chesty in the Drowned Temple, looking for his wife. Now we come up here, we do have a little secret puzzle room we can go to here, but I will save that for the players of the demo. This is one of the most beautiful pixel art rooms, I think, in the game. Definitely going to want to check that out. There's a little puzzle in there you can do, and you can get a cool item. But we'll leave that unspoiled. We got a gold bar from this chest. Not the best drop, in my opinion, but that's fine. Okay, we move on. I do want to stay out of the smoke here as we come up on some more enemies. So we've now got these enforcer pirates here. I want to get my skeleton out there ASAP. This is going to be a tough battle without him. We've got two dogs here. This is the kind of fight where I wish I had an AoE, like magic attack, like a fireball or something.
Are there any surfaces that counteract the smoke?
I
Just-
think... Hmm.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't... That's a good question. Smoke is really kind of, like, on its own right now in the surfaces. It doesn't have a lot of interaction. Because I don't think it can be electrocuted. Steam can be electrocuted, but I don't think smoke can. I have a question from, hey guys, can people play all day and rush everything, or will we have energy or something like this to play? You can play at any pace you want, for sure. Pretty cool game you guys are creating. Reminds me of a game called Cardi on PS1. Oh, thank you. I'll have to check that out. For this Aska move, I am gonna get a trap down. I'm blind, but that won't impact my ability to put a trap down. And my turn there. There we go. Good start.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna target this enforcer first.
Do the enemy rogues get the effective backstab?
I believe they do. I believe they do. I could be wrong, but I believe they do, and if they don't, they should.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm attacking from within the smoke. That was really stupid. But that's okay. He had defensive stance, so he reflected half of that back at me. It's okay. That was a collateral shot. Hitting her and the dog. It's another one. Okay. He's ensnared, so I should really just be moving away from him so he can't attack me. did that again where I forgot to keep my skeleton healed. That was very poor. I am gonna go up and disarm one of these archers. Both these dogs are almost dead. Be able to get one here. She's disarmed now, she's pretty useless. And she's shocked. Perfect. Walked right into the trap. I am running a bit low on health here. So I might... I'll heal myself with potions. Yeah. That's good. This guy off probably. He's bleeding with 2 HP. Yeah, he'll die. There we go. Get close to my team so I can heal them if needed. He dies to bleeding. There's one left now.
So do you have a preferred class that you play? Just for fun?
You know, I think I really like Pyromancer. I really like
Oh yeah,
just burning stuff and just setting stuff on fire.
absolutely.
Yeah, like with the fire surfaces, it's extremely fun. I also like Hydromancer. I like causing like rain, and I like the magic barrier heal that it can do. And I also like kind of combining it with the Geomancer skills. I love the summon Mandrake, cast rain, make the Mandrake wet, grow him into a golem combination is
That
super
guy
fun.
crushes stuff.
Yeah, that guy is sick. What about you?
Pyromancer, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that and Rogue. I love
fireball.
the backstab.
The fireball is like would be super fun in this battle.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of enemies just doing a ton of damage and creating a bunch of fire surfaces.
I usually do Rogue with the haste and venom and flank. That way I can get right behind the person and just give them.
Yeah, flank is super fun.
Mm-hmm.
And a little backstab to finish off here. we're getting close to the end, guys. This is going to be like a 3-hour playthrough. I really thought this was going to be more like an hour and a half. I haven't even been doing everything. I've been skipping some content, not doing every quest. Yeah, it's definitely longer than I thought. Okay, let us continue. So for this next area, we do have a couple different ways we can attack it from, but I'm going to go down here because there is some interesting stuff here. So we do have a Makumo here. One-legged pirate stood motionless, gazing at the cavern's lake with sorrowful eyes. He notices you approaching, but doesn't assume a stance for battle, despite clutching a saber in his hand. I can't do this anymore. I've recently discovered the truth about the cargo we've been smuggling out of Gladeheim, and the guild's been killing me. I caught a peek into one of the crates. Us low ranks weren't allowed near the other day, through a small, unnoticeable crack. Newborns, at least 10 of them in each crate, all unconscious, with some strange device strapped onto their faces. That's disturbing to hear. An understatement, to say the least. We've been running this operation for months now. There must be 100 parents missing their kids out there, with some heinous bastard running experiments on them. Do you know who's running the experiments on them? Not a clue. Sherry has been running a very tight operation since she arrived. She's the captain's first mate in charge of our operations on Respite Island, a ruthless lady who'll kill anyone who walks with her hydromancy, as long as he wills it. She and the rest of the crew are just ahead. If you're going to take them on, you'll probably need some help. Here, take this. It should come in handy during the battle. Yeah, so it is possible to get him to join the battle with you. I definitely just screwed it up there in the dialogue, but it is possible to get Makumo to join you as an ally in the upcoming fight, but we did get a potion from him, and now we've come along Miss Lockbox. I'm just here minding my own business when suddenly I start to sink into the water, as you can see, so help. You have 9 turns left to save Mrs. Lockbox from drowning. What will you do? Alright, Caruso, you're up again. What is your first move?
All right, well, I'm going to go with number 3.
Cheer her on, alright? Don't give up, Mrs. Lockbox. If you hold your breath, you should be able to buy us a few seconds. You muster a hearty cheer for Mrs. Lockbox. Sentiment ain't getting me out of the water. Now why don't you hurry up and do something? You have 8 turns left. What will you do? Caruso.
Ask her a question.
What question would you like to ask? How did you end up here, or how are you faring?
How are you faring?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you for asking. How does it look like I'm doing? I'm about to sleep with the fishes in 8 turns unless you do something. Now, why don't you hurry up and do something? You have 7 turns left. What will you do?
Okay. Throw a rock at her.
Okay.
You're doing great, Caruso.
Ow! Why the hell did you do that? Now, why don't you hurry up and do something? You have 6 turns left. Uh-oh. Alright.
Okay. Look around for something to help.
You scour the vicinity for something to help you fish Mrs. Lockbox out, but you fail to find anything. Standing around isn't going to get me out of here. Hurry up and do something. 5 turns left.
Alright.
Well, you only have one thing you haven't done yet, which is ask how did you end up here, so we'll go with that.
Yeah.
I got separated by my husband after we helped ourselves to the pirate's treasure. Ha! Those fools never saw us coming. It's too bad I fell asleep after he poured me a few drinks. We must have drifted apart thanks to the lake's currents. Clue discovered. It seems as though Chesty and Mrs. Lockbox has stolen Yeah, so Matt, just a bug to note, that should be have instead of has. Bit of a typo there.
Gotcha. Yep.
Seems as though Chesty and Mrs. Lockbox have stolen some pirate's treasure, and she fell asleep after celebrating with him. Now, why don't you hurry up and do something? You have 4 turns left, so now we look around for something that might help. And now you notice something. A glimmering object wedged between her seam as she struggles to stay afloat on the calm lake's waters. Clue discovered. It seems as though the pirate's treasure is inside Mrs. Lockbox herself. Could that be why she's sinking? The lake's waters also appear too calm to have caused them to drift away from one another. 3 turns left. Now we're asking her another question. Mrs. Lockbox, are you stuffed with treasure right now? I suppose. Why does it matter?
Oh, intimidate.
Spit that treasure. Oh, and another bug to note that I just realized, Matt, is Lucite portrait is still on the screen, even though he's not talking anymore, probably because he had a line earlier. But we should put that off. Miss Lockbox, I suppose. Why does it matter? So we could use our intimidate here. Spit that treasure out right this second, or I'll leave you to drown. Alright, fine. She coughs up the pirate treasure she had stored within her, sending all of it cascading into the cavern laying. One of the treasures lands at our feet, and we picked it up. Miss Lockbox began floating gracefully to the water's surface again. I guess I'll be making my way back to Chesty then. Thank you for your help, darlings. Let him know I'm alright. Okay. So, Caruso, you got off to a bit of a rocky start there, but
I know.
we did
We
end
came
up
out
saving her
okay.
in the end. I'm just gonna walk back to Chesty now. Yeah, we'll just complete that quest. We might level from it. Yeah, we're 1 XP away. That's hilarious. So this should level us up. Found your wife. And he gives us a reward. An opal. Where did you find all that treasure? Treasure, I have no idea what you're talking about. And there's our level up. Okay, let's do... We're just going for a high damage output rogue here. Aska, we're liking Constitution and Geo.
It looks like your party members might have
Yeah,
ungrouped
they're
there.
kind of like, see if we bring them back together. Okay, so possible bug there. I'm just gonna do a save. Let's note that bug of after completing Chesty quest.
Might be
We
due to the
leveled
level up
up.
there.
What happened is we
Yeah.
leveled up during a conversation, so that might have been the issue, but I'm assuming with a reload we'll just fix this. There we go. Quick save and reload will often fix many bugs in our game if you run into one. Okay, so now we are approaching the Sherry fight, so this is a bit of a boss fight. We are going to implement some dialogue for this fight. that will happen beforehand, but we don't have that in quite yet. Start out by shocking that rogue. And we could have taken this fight from two angles. We could have split our party members up and had one start at the bottom there and one start up here, but we kind of just rushed in head on. I am going to get my skeleton out again. Hopefully this time keep him alive. This rogue. So I know this boss has a pretty powerful heal, so I like to save her for last. She cast Downpour. It's probably actually good for us though, because we have Lucite, we can electrocute and paralyze now that they're wet. Get a trap out there. See if we can bait him into it. No, not quite. I'm gonna do a disarm on Archer again. That's just extremely powerful. Really, really overpowered. Take off all their armor, half their health, and make it so they can't use any skills or any weapon skills. I'm kind of stuck here. I'm just gonna move out and start. See if I can finish this dog off first. Nice. Oh, that was extremely stupid. I just trapped myself against these boxes. Yeah, it's getting late here, guys. 3-hour stream. 10:30 here where I am, and mistakes are starting to be made. That was one of the that's the dumbest play of the night so far. I'm maxed out at 6 AP already. I already wasted my last turn, and now I took Lucite and I trapped my own character against the boxes. So really stupid. This is why you like to have flanked, so you can easily get out of these situations. There's a lot of movement skills in the game, so you generally won't need to worry about this too much, but at the start of the game, if you don't have movement, you got to be careful about boxing your characters in. Very, very dumb mistake there, but that's okay. We're not really in too much trouble here. We will get my armor back. Hit him with a rock. My skeleton just died from running out of turns. He had defensive stance, so I took half the damage of my attack. I can backstab 6 times now. I'm hastened, or I don't know if I'm still, no, yeah, I am still hastened. I'm hastened, and I said not attacked at all last turn, so I do have a lot of AP to use. Gulai, note these boxes, we're getting a bit of, or sorry, not Gulai, Matt, we're getting a bit of clipping on these boxes here. Right here at the top of this, these Azure Company crates.
Gotcha. Yep, see it.
Okay, she's down pretty low. I'm gonna go finish off this archer before she's not disarmed anymore. If I can. Yeah, no problem. She's bleeding, so she will die on her turn. Backstab with the tail. She dies to bleeding. Cool death animation there. I can't quite reach him. He walks in the trap.
With 2 health.
There we go. Eight-minute fight on that last battle, not bad. Looks like that's the last of them. The Hydromancer was probably their leader. I can't believe we beat an entire pirate crew. That ladder over there should take us into Gladeheim, where we'll be able to continue our mission. See what kind of drop we get from Sherry over here. Oh, this is interesting. This is an interesting bug. The label for Sherry says Elder Pilgrim. That's no
Interesting.
down. That's a weird
Yeah.
bug. Okay, we get a Robes of Hydromancy. We don't have a Hydromancer on the team, so not overly useful, but we could send that to Aska. And that will... yeah, that will give her much more armor and magic barrier, so pretty cool outfit for Aska there. She's really transformed since the start of the game. Yeah, we can kind of explore around here, but that was the last battle of the demo. You can see there's a boat down here, the remains of a wrecked boat. Must be how the pirates traversed the island without being detected by the Mazan Dispatch. So yeah, there's a lot of underground maps here, kind of on this island. You have the upper portion, and then you have the underground cave network. And you'll see kind of as the caves develop, you get further and further into sort of that elven ruin sort of vibe. It's really cool how it starts to come together further along in the game. Can't wait to show you guys some of those new maps. But like I said, this video was kind of just to get an updated gameplay video, have some audience interaction at the same time. And then we'll have kind of this live stream. I might put this up on Steam. We'll have it for people to watch who are new to the game. You can send them this updated gameplay video. The last one we had was really old. So yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Guild Saga Vanished Worlds content. I will just go up the ladder here and formally end the demo. Caruso, Matt, any last words for the audience?
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good night.
Good night,
Matt.
guys. Thanks for watching. Just can't wait for everybody to get to play. It's a lot of fun, and going through all the different classes is it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. So guys, like, I'm sure a lot of people watching have played this demo already. You've got through this portion of the game, and you're probably a little bit tired of seeing this portion of the game. If you want to test builds of the game that include new maps and new, more cutting-edge features, just post in general chat in the Discord or DM me or whatever you want to do, and we can get you set up with a beta branch key. And we're definitely going to be, we've got the town map fully fledged out. It's a super awesome map. We've got, I think, 7 more maps after that are already drawn, and the content on them being fledged out. So there's going to be quite a lot of new content to test out soon. If you guys want to test that out and play that for free before release and help us sort of stress test the game and find bugs, as we found a few in this playthrough, just let us know. We'd be super grateful for you guys to help us out with that. And with that, we're coming up on 3 hours for the stream. Thank you to anyone who's stuck around for the entire show. We just stay tuned in Discord for more updates. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.